Shortly after I was hired in my previous job, I realized there was a team member in my team. Because you don't know him, I'm gonna say his name. His name was David. David, the first impressions I got of him was like, David is a troublemaker. We will set deadlines, goals, and he will never meet them. Like I will assign tasks to him, and like he wouldn't do them. Like it will take usually over a week for him to do the things that we needed to do. I started to think about it. I asked somebody in management, and he said, find out what is going on, and if it's nothing important, we're gonna fire him. That was the advice of the person in management. So I started to become friends with David, and we brought up topics that we had in common. And I started to talk to him, gain his confidence. He started to do a little better, like a little step by step. He started to become a better person. He became more participative on the team, on the projects. He became more involved. Eventually, I gained his confidence, and I asked him, David, I noticed that you're having issues with, and I made a list. Said, I want to help you, but I need to understand what issues you're having. David, during that meeting, he told me, my wife is dying. It was very shocking to me to know this, and it made me feel bad as a leader. I was thinking, why didn't anybody here in this company know this? And I asked him, how long has this been happening for? And he told me it's been nearly 2 years since she was diagnosed with that terminal sickness, and we have 2 daughters, and it's very hard on me because I have to do a lot of things at home during working hours. So with this story in mind, and the time I have, I want to present to you 3 principles that I learned during this experience that were really helpful for me. Number 1 is, I'm just going to do it using quotes, because I love quotes for some reason. The first one is, sometimes the most influential thing we can do is listen. When you talk to somebody, when we talk to somebody, we have a tendency to start to think, what am I going to say? If we break that habit and we actually start to listen before and think what we're going to respond afterwards, something magical happens. Our empathy for the other person grows. Our understanding of the whole situation is even deeper. That leads me to the second principle, because this is very self-explanatory. If you understand each other, you will be kind to each other. Knowing a man will never lead to hate him. Almost always it leads to love him. I realized during my time with my colleague David that he was a really good person. In this point in my life, I consider him a friend. My first impression of him was he is a troublemaker, but he was not. He was actually a really kind-hearted person, struggling. My lack of empathy for him at this point was an stumbling block, not for him, but for me. It didn't allow me to be the type of leader I want to be in life. Making assumptions is usually a mistake that we make. Understanding people after we listen to their concerns and their issues makes us better leaders. What happens afterwards? What did I do? We made a plan with him, and we did the third point that I want to bring across, which is alignment. After that, I typed to him, and we made plans with set goals, and the whole thing started to push together towards meeting the deadlines. I love this quote, and it says, alignment is where me versus you become us versus the problem. I had a private meeting one-on-one with everyone on the team, and we made plans so that we will be able to fill in the gaps that his personal problems were leaving in a way in which we could keep him as part of the team. I want to leave you with a reminder about these 3 principles. Always listen deeply, understand fully, and align on what's next. These 3 principles have been key in my time as a leader in the church, outside the church, in every setting. I can tell you that you will be the best leaders you can be if you follow these very simple principles. And this is my invitation for everyone.